Hey guys, welcome back to JKsports podcast. I'm Kody here, kind of doing my own solo thing because I wasn't able to get on recording with Joey yesterday. A little bit of scheduling issues, things like that. Kind of had a lot going on, busy, packed weekend, including trying to watch the draft. So anyway, I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions specifically on the Dolphins draft this year because the Dolphins are my favorite team. They're pretty much what I pay attention to the most when we're talking about football. So this year, what I kind of did was just looked at each prospect, each person that we drafted, and kind of at the end I'll give my grade on each what I think each how we did on each pick and give an overall grade for the draft for the Dolphins in 2021. All right, so I'm gonna pretty much just get right into it. All right, so we got round one. The Dolphins had the 6th and the 18th selections in the first round of the 2021 NFL draft. After a little bit of trading, of course, obviously. But so settling at at pick 6 here, the Dolphins decided to go Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. So the Jalen Waddle pick, I was a little bit, as you can see from, I guess, some of the clips we have of our live reactions. At the time of the pick, I was a little conflicted because my big board in my head kind of was, okay, get Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts isn't there, get Jamar Chase. If Jamar Chase isn't there, get Penei Sewell. So I was a little bit surprised we didn't go Sewell here. I'm not mad by any means. I still think it was a good pick. And the front office really liked Jalen Waddle, I guess. They said he really stood out on all the tape they watched last year when they decided to draft Tua. They really value his ability to move with the ball in his hands, his speed, athleticism. He's not too tall. He's not that big. I think he's like maybe like 5'10", 180 or something like that. But the dude is a playmaker. I think I said this during the pre-draft stuff that he might be the best player with the ball in his hands in the entire draft. I can see him playing slot. I can see him playing outside, busting over the top of the cornerback and safeties. So, I like the pick of Jalen Waddle. I don't necessarily disagree with it. Then at pick 18, the Dolphins decided to go Jalen Phillips, pass rusher out of Miami, keeping him in the 305. So my thing about Jalen Phillips, I actually loved this pick. I just had such a feeling, like after watching so many Dolphins drafts, that they would go defense with that second tier pick on the 18-20 range. I knew they were going to go defensive end because we need someone opposite of Agba to rush the passer, and I couldn't ask for a better one. We got the best pass rusher in the draft, Jalen Phillips. He's a monster. Obviously, you can't mention him without the injury concerns, concussion history. I think he had like a broken wrist or ankle or something during all this. But also, you can't beat the value. At 18, you're getting the best pass rusher, which is a premium position in the NFL. I was talking to Joey about this. There's not a lot of great pass rushers right now. I really think it's kind of, you haven't seen like really, really, really next level guys breaking out right now. Jalen Phillips has rare length. He's long. So that should definitely help him. He has more than one move when he is rushing the pass, rushing the quarterback. He doesn't just rely on like speed or size or anything like that. Like, he is a technical pass rusher, and I think he's going to fit in great with the Dolphins. So I think Jalen Phillips might have been, I think, probably my favorite pick that the Dolphins made this year's draft. All right, but moving on, in round 2, we again had 2 more picks. Man, we had 4 picks in the top 50. That's crazy. Props to Chris Greer in the front office and kind of making this stuff happen. We got 4 guys that will probably start this year between the first 2 rounds. But anyway, our first pick in the second round on the 36th pick, we took Javon Holland, safety out of Oregon. So actually, to be honest with you, outside the first round, I didn't do a whole lot of work on people. I had heard of people talking about Javon Holland already. He was like the consensus like number 2 or 3 safety in this in this draft. So I didn't really get familiar with him until after, because I was like, wait a minute, we prioritized a safety over and I know Dolphins fans, all they want to talk about is we didn't get a running back. We didn't get a running back, didn't get one of the top running backs. Well, we decided to prioritize safety over that. And we even drafted a safety before, a tackle, which we needed really bad. But overall, Javon Holland, from what I saw people talking about, this dude is a stud. He seems like he will be our free safety of the future. He could even play nickel cornerback, which is a spot that we've been trying to fill for a couple of years now too. So if he can also, I guess he can play in the box, I heard too, but we already drafted Brandon Jones last year in the 3rd to do that role. So hopefully Javon Holland comes in as kind of does everything for us. I hope he can take over for Bobby McCain at the free safety spot, because I think we need elevated play there a little bit. And Javon Holland, he looks like he could be a stud. I'm happy with the pick. And then at pick 42, we actually traded back up for this guy, Liam Eichenberg. So, yeah, he's a tackle. I think he played left tackle at Notre Dame. Needed it really bad. Tua needs more protection. We kind of didn't do that. I knew we were coming out of the draft with like a tackle in the top 50 picks, because we had let Eric Flowers go, just traded him after spending a ton of money on him last year. So we wanted to move Robert Hunt inside to guard, where he projects better anyway. He's huge, like 300-pounder. So we needed a tackle coming into the draft, like really, really bad, to replace Robert Hunt. And I think Liam Eichenberg is going to be on Tua's blind side. He's going to play right tackle. Him and Austin Jackson, there's so much development on the offensive line. It's so new and so young. I just hope that Liam Eichenberg is the right guy for the job. I know he was the Dolphins coached the Senior Bowl this year, and he was on the Dolphins team. So, and I guess they really liked him and thought he was a good fit for the franchise. So, welcome to Miami, Liam. I hope that you work out, man. Then in round 3, we got this is probably one of the more controversial picks that we had this year. Hunter Long, tight end out of Boston College. Another guy that I didn't know that much about going into, because I honestly didn't know the Dolphins would take a tight end, or that they would even consider a tight end. And I liked what I saw and what I heard about Hunter Long. I remember everybody's talking about how there was somebody that works for NFL Network that said he might be like his favorite pick of the whole draft. He might be a future Pro Bowler and all this. To me, the thing is this. Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe are both entering the final year of their rookie deals. Durham Smythe is kind of nothing, honestly. He's a pass blocker. He comes in on, like the 3-2 tight end sets or whatever to block for the quarterback. Maybe catch like a tiny little a little dump off or something. But so he's definitely not returning. We also have Adam Shaheen. We got from the Bears last year. He is kind of the same, could probably fill the same role as Adam Shaheen. It's more of a possession catcher. Hunter Long doesn't offer like elite athleticism, elite speed after the catch. But he will go up and get the ball. He's got a great vertical. He looks really strong, plays strong. He'll be a great red zone threat, which we need more of that. I feel like there's so many times watching the Dolphins last year where I felt like they just could not score in the red zone, and we were kicking field goals all the time, getting really frustrated, not having somebody to throw like a jump ball to. So I think Hunter Long could come in and make an instant impact there. I know tight ends, it normally takes a couple of years for them to figure it out. But I hope he comes in and gets some impactful snaps and is a nice pairing to Gesicki's, vertical athleticism and running ability. I hope Hunter Long provides, a little bit of blocking as well as the ability to, make a tough first down catch or a tough catch in the end zone. So actually, Hunter Long, was a little bit confused about why we're taking a tight end, because we still weren't addressing the running back position. But I think at this point it was a good pick, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's really funny because I feel like picks like this, I feel like this is kind of a not a luxury pick, but it's a it's like a best player available pick who someone we had high on their board our boards, and I think that there's a strong possibility that Hunter Long becomes the best player out of this draft class. Just because I just feel like randomly sometimes like the third rounder, the fourth rounder guy that you don't think that you're going to draft, or even the second rounder, like a position you don't necessarily need. I feel like a lot of times those guys end up being like really good. Like I remember we drafted Jarvis Landry in the second round, like in 2014 or whenever it was, and he was not a need. Wide receiver was not a need at the time, and he ended up being, like really good. He was a stud. So Hunter Long can live with it. And then we didn't have any other picks until round 7. So these last two guys are just, complete depth picks. See if they even make the roster, to be honest with you. At pick 231, we got Larnell Coleman, another tackle from UMass. Don't really know very much about him whatsoever. It's just another offensive lineman. I know he's an athletic guy. He's a versatile guy. I think that's what they want. They want guys on the offensive line that can fill multiple positions. Can play guard, can also play tackle, maybe even some center, which is another thing. We don't really have a starting caliber center going into this year. Still a little bit concerned about. We didn't really address that in the draft. But I think it's just kind of how the board fell, and we couldn't get our hands on one that we, valued high enough at the positions we were in to draft, And then finally, with our last pick in the draft, we go Jared Dokes, Big D. I don't know if Dokes here is going to make the team long term, but from what I know, what I read about him anyway, he's never like an outstanding running back. He's more of a power guy. I know they said that he's really thick below, like thick legs. So I guess can maybe like, come in on power sets, run it on the goal line, something like that. And I know he also has some limited ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. So who knows? Dokes, maybe he'll sit on the practice squad for a little bit, but you never know. Myles Gaskin, who is our current running back, was also a 7th round pick out of Washington a couple years ago. So you never know. He could end up filling a role. He could make the team. I'm still wondering if maybe the Dolphins are considering bringing in like Le'Veon Bell or Todd Gurley, two guys that are also still out there for free agents. That seems like something we wouldn't do, because I feel like we don't like to admit when we're wrong, and we don't. And I feel like that's like admitting that, hey, we didn't address this properly. And we did also already sign Malcolm Brown to a 1-year deal earlier in free agency. So we kind of addressed it, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see how things shake out. But yeah, Jared Dokes and Larnell Coleman, welcome to the Dolphins. I hope everything works out for you guys. I'm always rooting for 7th round picks, 6th round picks. I like the underdog story. All right, so to finish everything up here, I'm just going to go through grades. Round 1, I gave the Jalen Waddle pick a B+. Only reason it's not an A, I love Jalen Waddle. Only reason it's not an A is because I think Penei Sewell was kind of what it should have been the pick there. But then, like I said, my favorite pick in the entire draft, we go ahead and get Jalen Phillips, and I gave that an A, my favorite pick that we made. I think everything that he brings to the table, it's worth taking a risk, the injury risk. Then round 2, I gave the Javon Holland pick a B, because like I said, safety, I don't know how big of a need it is, but he seems like he could be a stud. Then Liam Eichenberg, I gave a B+, because he was one of the top 10 tackles, and he was a huge need. And I was happy that we finally filled it. So B+ I give for Liam Eichenberg. Then round 3, Hunter Long, tight end. I gave a C+, pretty much for the upside here. It's a C because we don't really need a tight end. We don't. But it does. I'm optimistic that it opens up a new dynamic to the pass catching game, and that he can develop into something good. And then in round 7, I gave Coleman a B because, again, offensive line is really weak. He seems, I don't know, Larnell Coleman literally sounds like a guy that would be like the backup tackle for like 5 years on the Dolphins. I like don't know why. He just sounds like he will just like that he will be a good, plug-in guy for offensive linemen who get hurt all the time. So not just Dolphins, any offensive line, a lot of injuries happen across the board there. So hopefully I'm hoping for him. I'm rooting for him to, have an impact here with the Dolphins. And then I gave Big D Dokes there C+, because we drafted a running back. We need to draft a running back. Needed to fill the position. But a C because I don't know. You probably could have got this guy as a undrafted free agent. I don't know if this is who they wanted. I'm sure he wasn't on their draft board. No teams are, have a draft board that's that deep. But it was someone who they probably thought they could come in and help the team, maybe make the practice squad, maybe a 4th string, 3rd string running back. But overall, I'm going to say the Dolphins had a B draft. I know national media actually has been saying a lot about how we had a killer draft. They want to give us an A, and how we addressed positions in need with like elite athletes, which we did. I can't disagree with the holes that we filled because they needed to be filled. But I do think a lot of times in a lot of places where we picked, we left guys on the board that were better than who we were selecting. And I can't give it an A if we didn't come out of here with a running back. We ignored the position last year in the draft, and we did it again, kind of. I don't know if they're pretty set with like the room they have right now, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how it all works out. I think the guys there's at least 4 guys that will come in and almost be instant starters, help the team immediately. So I think the Dolphins will be better this year. I think I'm a Tua believer, and I think that he's going to be able to take the next step here. And I think he's got some help now. He's got a lot more help. I'm just really excited to see what these rookies got to offer, man. Wow. Jalen Waddle having a Tyreek Hill comparison. If he can do anything like close to that, this Dolphins offense can be dynamic. And Jalen Phillips on the D-line can change this defense. An already ridiculously good defense getting help over the top with Javon Holland, offensive line getting better, with Liam Eichenberg. I don't know. I'm excited to see what this season brings, man. I guess all we can do now is, wait for the schedule to come out and talk about minicamp. So thanks for checking out my video as well, man. This is probably going to go up shortly after Joey's video goes up. And as he mentioned in his video, come back later on this week. We have something real special for you guys on Friday. I'll be talking a lot about 49ers, talking a lot about scheduling, division, just all things football. We got an awesome guest coming on that we're super excited about, and hopefully you guys can enjoy his commentary and his takes and everything as well. So thanks again for watching JK Sports Podcast. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias, okay? Have them listed in the description below. But anyway, have a good rest of the week, guys. See ya.